man. After a little bit of trials right now, man, we are live with our man Evan Pumphrey.
Yeah.
Owner of the Valley Clothing Company. I've known Evan since he was, I don't know, 8 or 9 or something like that. He was a water boy for us at Imperial High School. I was coaching there. Him and Seth Culp. So, man, we're excited to have you. We've kind of our lives have crossed paths several times throughout. Whether trying to help you out, going to college and doing the football stuff, and and now crossing back through here with your clothing line and our podcast, and trying to do something together here with this. So, we're excited to have you, and thanks for taking the time with us.
Definitely, thanks for having me. Dude, that was a great intro.
That's what I do, bro.
That's a great intro.
That's why Hunter can't talk, bro. I talk to him.
That's true.
Said nothing to intro.
Yeah, it's so and Hunter and Evan also crossed some paths. They played a little ball against each other, right?
Right, rivals in high school and then teammates in college for a year.
That's right, teammates in college. Did some working out together in high school too, as well.
Gerald
Obviously, our small valley, it's kind of easy to cross paths with people, especially if you're in the sports side of things, I think. So
definitely you have to.
Yeah, man. So for everyone who kind of, I kind of give a little brief intro, but for people who don't know you, and how would you describe who you are and what you're doing?
I guess you said it. My name is Evan. I guess it kind of just started as a class project, and it was my senior project last year or 2 years ago, and I in place in it, and it was just the way I structured, because the t-shirt company is pretty simple and pretty people have done it before. It was the way I structured it and the way I kind of thought of different ways to kind of not having to work as hard as other people, and that's what kind of got me second place. It was like a prize, like a cash prize, and you got like a newspaper article. I feel like this.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was a cool thing. I ended up getting second, ended up getting beat by a girl who started a wedding business, and that was her thing. And so, and just kind of started rolling with it ever since then.
As far as that goes, it was something that, and even Hunter, we kind of chatted about this earlier, things that we were thinking about, just chopping it up with you. But was that something that you had ever thought of before, or was it just, hey, you got a class project and that's something you came up with?
Yeah, I kind of had the idea a little bit in the back of my mind. I thought something more like when I came home. I finished college and come back home for a little bit, just trying to figure out things from there. Mm-hmm. And while I was there, I just kind of, it's like, me try it for this, give back as much as I can. I like the idea, the way I structured it, just as of like using a drop shipping method, basically. You design a shirt, kind of you eat off the margins, and from the margins you need to do kind of there. So that's kind of how it went.
Dude, your band with his cheeks, Mickey.
Crazy.
Right
is it
now,
booty cheeks?
We missed like half of that.
Dang, for real. No,
it's like all. It's like, no, it's like fresh ass beat you just throwing down right now, bro. I was actually gonna hit up Eddie right now, see if you want to lay some bars down on that thing. Real quick.
Bro. Hey, put me on a track. I'm cheap too. I'm cheap. I'm trying for my.
Eddie, man, we got some fresh ass beats for you.
There you go. Let's try that. Yeah, definitely.
Evan's downloading a movie in the background on this computer.
I'm literally streaming the UFC fight the other night.
Hey, man, sorry, man. I was downloading the entire Ultimate Fighter series.
Downloading the whole card.
Oh gosh.
I was rewatching the Amanda Nunez fight. I feel like it's worse right now.
Evan's OnlyFans is running right now.
Hey, OnlyFans is booming right now. Getting blown up right now, bro. Hold on. That cha-ching.
He was on an OnlyFans.
Link down below. Pick up the merch on the way down too. Link in the bio.
Repping the brand.
Link in the bio. $10 a month. Subscribe. $10 a month. All I charge.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Subscribe.
I'm cheap, bro. Subscribe.
With KY Jelly. Collaborate.
This podcast is sponsored to you by.
Yeah, the broadcast brought to you by KY Jelly and OnlyFans.
Was it throw Manscaped in there?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hey, I'm trying to get that sponsorship, bro. What you talking about? I'm trying to get hooked up.
Oh, man.
Shout out Manscaped.
Send me a package.
So take it back a little bit for us. You're born and raised in the Imperial Valley.
No, I was born in Texas, actually. Texarkana, Texas. And then when I was 1, came out here with my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you I mean, other than being a baby, you don't have really any recollection of living in Texas?
No, not too much now.
Family out in Texas?
Yeah,
still,
so my dad's out there. Yeah.
Okay.
Dad's out there. My grandma's out there. Stepmom, and my whole mom's side too.
Oh, really?
So the only people who really live here. My grandma used to live here till she passed a while back, and then my aunt lives here, and my cousin, and I have 3 other little cousins, and then pretty much everyone went away and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just us out here.
Got you.
But yeah, I still go back often though. Yeah, I still go back often.
Yeah. So moved out here as a young kid. And then what were the things you were into as a young kid?
Just everything, biking, skating. Wasn't really into sports yet. But I was definitely just doing anything, just skating, scootering, skateboarding, all those type of things.
Yeah.
On the trails, riding around and causing mayhem out here,
Yeah.
So yeah, but I didn't really start getting into football until really till I tried the Pop Warner thing, but it didn't really work.
Evan was a big kid.
Yeah, big kid. I was a heavyweight.
Yeah, and it's tough because I mean, really, as a kid, I mean, there's no now. I guess it's a little more opened up where weight class, weights you can be younger and be heavier and still play. But yeah, when you were a kid or when I was a kid or you guys are the same age, but when I was the same thing, right? If you weren't within that little range, I mean, you couldn't play. So for a big kid, not the opportunities.
It wasn't too many. Yeah, and then baseball kind of picked up later on too. Started playing baseball. Loved it, but then started getting, the Valley is very serious when it comes to baseball stuff.
Yeah.
So that was super competitive, and it was one of those things where it's you're gonna do this or you're gonna kind of play around because you start going up and up, in levels. So go travel ball, it's play or you're just kind of playing around. So
no doubt. No doubt. So I mean, I would just I think kind of a little trend with multiple people that we've had on that are from here and played sports here. I feel like kind of sports, young times, when you're a kid, it kind of shapes a little bit of your life and kind of creates a little bit of work ethic and dedication and things like that. Obviously being from the Imperial Valley, not a whole bunch of things to do here. You find things to do. But so really, so you said football though never really it wasn't something big for you as a young kid.
No, not at all. I mean, it was more because my friends were playing different players. You see Royce, one of my friends, Sage and CS, and all them were all always with their helmets on, their shoulder pads, I'm going to practice, and things of that nature. So it really wasn't until you go 9th grade or really going into high school freshman year when it's you're allowed to start. Playing. That's when I actually first started. So, and even before that, so I started training 8th grade. That's when I kind of realized okay, I do want to play, but I just want to be ready, and started training and stuff like that. So
we're I mean, you as I said, always been a bigger kid. When you started training and stuff like that, did you feel like football was an avenue for you to really do anything, or was it just I want to play football?
I just wanted to play football. Yeah, it's one of those things because I also don't like dang it. And I'm you kind of let's play. And I was allowed to finally play, and start putting the gas a little bit. And then as it went on, that's when I was kind of more okay, I could play different you can go to college, do other things. But that was until like my junior year when I even thought about even playing or at the higher level of football.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but it wasn't like really till like junior year, freshman, sophomore year. I wasn't thinking about it. Even when I was training, starting off, I wasn't thinking about it. I just wanted to play and be good and be ready for it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So even at that point, was it sports you really wanted to pursue, or were you ever thinking about business or clothing or anything like that?
Nah, none of that. It's definitely just sports. Like I was saying, like, you know, 8th grade year came around, I was playing football. Sophomore year came around, and I guess business became a thing for me. Like around that age group, that's when I started doing like, you know, it's had we are just talking about when you had your Adidas shoe up.
Yeah.
Flipping sneakers and things. Your $16 shout out to Adidas, man. And Klesko outlets. Shout out to Klesko outlets.
That's
man.
right, man.
Klesko
Hey,
outlets.
Klesko
Doing
outlets,
their
man.
thing,
That was, you know,
Rest in peace to the Nike
the
outlet.
Nike outlet, man. I was
Running it up in
scooping
there.
stuff from there all the
Yeah,
time,
I
and I got some
was.
treasures from that place.
Definitely. Jordan,
Yeah.
lots of things.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, no,
Yeah, shout out to Alice though, for sure.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You were doing. Well, I remember in high school, you were selling like socks. You were doing something like that, right?
I was doing all that. Yeah, so I was doing sneakers. I was flip sneakers. That's when I started realizing it was a thing. And online, I'll do eBay, all types of things. This was before like they had like Grail and all these other things. They have now to flip StockX and thing.
Yeah.
So it was just really like who you knew. Instagram was kind of bubbling at the time, so you could trade on there, and it was reliable. It wasn't like what it is now. You know, you can get like more fakes and stuff like that, and that's a little more sketchy.
Yeah.
But at the time, yeah. And then during that same time, I started doing socks, and that was really when I was like, "Oh, this is cool," and I wanted to actually establish a business. I think it's like sophomore, going like junior year, and I started doing the socks because it's football. I was going to different camps. I wanted to stand out, and I was just like, what could I do to stand out? I was like, we're looking at bands. I was looking at shirts. I was like, can't wear a shirt because they give you like, the camp was a Nike, this is Nike Spark camp or something like that.
Yeah.
You get your rating.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't stand out. Can't wear a shirt. Okay, do like, you know, shorts, whatever. And I'm like, nah, that's kind of whack. So let me do my socks.
Tie-dye or something.
Yeah, so tie-dye pants, like what? So then I was like, let me do some socks, man. Let me just keep it, you know, keep it crazy down low.
Low key, but
yeah, a little more low key, but yeah,
a little splash for you, but
yeah,
but not look like you're wearing a tracksuit.
Exactly, not looking crazy out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, just enough for friends to see me, you know. So started dyeing the socks, whatever, and then I took a picture and posted it like online, like, oh, got my cool socks, whatever, ready for camp.
Yeah,
it's on Facebook, and people started hitting me up. I need some socks. Where you can get those at? And then people were that's how it kind of started from there. People started asking for them, and I kind of developed it from there, and, you know, created a process. Just kind of find out ways to make it cheaper, find research like that. Getting in trouble by Nike, Nike logo, Nike sock at the time. So buying them in bulk anywhere I could to get a discount. So kind of started there with that, yeah. And then from then, those businesses were kind of the ones that kind of did the most for me. And that's when I knew I kind of like, okay, this is business is kind of a thing. And then I talked to my counselors. That's what it really was. Talking to my counselors, they're like, yeah, you suck at math. You shouldn't go to school for business. And I was like, all right. Like, it's going to be so hard.
Yeah, like crushing the dream right there.
Crushing
like,
the dream, dog.
For you, Evan. You know, we probably look at something else.
You know what? Not even gonna shout them out. It's okay. I love you guys though. I still love them though.
It's
but, you know,
yeah.
They're looking out for me. They're probably looking out for me what was best, what they thought. You know, I wasn't good at math and ended up getting a degree in business. You know what I'm saying?
No,
working out, though.
It's like, I mean, you know, it doesn't, I mean, math isn't my greatest thing either, you know, but, you know, as long as you can get by with the things that you're going to need on a day-to-day basis. I mean, you don't have
100%.
to be, you don't have to be doing trig and calculus all the time and stuff like that. But, so, you know, you talked about business. I mean, as a kid in that time frame at high school age, did you have any idea of things that you're interested as far as like a career and a path of anything? And, was college a must do for you? Were you for sure wanting to go to college football or not? I mean, so what about that for you?
Yeah, honestly, not. It wasn't a thing for school wise, but I know I wanted to play football. So at that time I was like, you know, I want to play football. I want to play football in college. I want to be at the top level. You know, this is when we kind of, you know, cross paths, whatever. Well, actually it was before then, but this is when we got more serious with our relationship.
Sure.
We were communicating every day at this point. Yeah. I'm like, this is what I want to do. You know, I want to try to find, you know, a home for me to play at. And the school was what kind of pushed me to, try to get my grades right or whatever it may be. And then, so yeah, that's kind of what it was. It wasn't, necessarily me wanting to go to school to be educated and really to play football, sadly, but that's
no doubt. No, I mean, you know what? And that's something like for a lot of people in education to kind of understand about some kids, though, not every kid you're going to deal with is just an academic. And, if you can realize that there's something else for them, though, that may drive them to that avenue,
100%.
It's fostering that other part to get them to take school serious enough to get through it, right? And
100%.
I know dealing with you, and I mean, obviously you guys are very different in your academics at that point in time, because Hunter was a really
baby genius,
high academic guy, right?
Yeah.
High academic guy. And but I've dealt with a lot of ones that aren't high academic kids, but I think a lot of times it's not really knowing, not really seeing an opportunity in front of you. So it doesn't really give you a lot of motivation to put in that extra effort to 100%. Go do that work, And I think kind of like when we really started talking and I understood your academic situation, it was, we all knew there was going to be a struggle to find
100%,
what we were looking for. Right.
100%,
but I think a lot of times, like you said, I mean, if your counselors and things like that understand what's the carrot, right? What's exciting, what's going to bring you along, right? What's going to excite you? And if it's, hey,
100%.
Look at Evan, or whoever, we got a few opportunities with these schools like this for athletics, but you got to do this in the classroom to be able to get there, and I think for you, I feel like, and I've had several others very similar to you, is that when you get to whatever the next level is, right? When you finally see what work you got to put in, it's like, okay, I'll do that to get what I'm trying to get to. Yeah, no 100%. doubt. Yeah. And so in high school, I mean, yeah, you were around your class, right? Your guys' class in Imperial Valley was loaded. I mean, several kids from that class went Division I, and you had interest from schools as well. And obviously your teammate, your boy, Royce, obviously one of the top recruits in the nation. Donovan Buck, one of the top outside linebackers in the nation. And you had David Lucero from Hovo ended up being one of the top tight ends in the nation. I mean, from our tiny 160,000 person Imperial Valley to have that many highly respected athletes. So I think I saw that year a lot of kids. I think that year helped drive even more interest to kids of seeing 100%. To go to play college football and things like that.
Definitely,
right?
People after us. People after still, the kids still, that gives them motivation still to this day. And it's crazy, even like I'll go by or see kids and stuff, they're like, oh, are you so-and-so? And it's like, dang, that's crazy. That was so far back ago, like so long ago. About it. Even though the kids
you guys
still
are old.
Still remember, they still talk about it. Yeah, we're literally old, man. My back is killing me. He's hurting now.
It's crazy, man.
It's crazy now. Nothing's the same.
No,
man.
but it is true though. Like it carries on. It carries on. Especially when you do things that people can look at and they can be proud of and see, like, man, look what he did, right? So and still to this day, I mean, Hunter, I mean, there's a lot of guys that are out there that kind of that have gone on, done something great, came back here, and are giving back to this area, right? Trying to build 100%. Back up our community. And that's 100%. Like probably the biggest thing of why I love helping kids is because like, man, if they can come back and make our area a better place, that's amazing to bring those kind of
it's crazy. The kind of thing about it's like, even like the relationships you make with the coaches, if it's from even like when I was at Grossmont, or if I was when I went to even hear the coaches that came out to see us, like they come back, they'll remember, or they'll like come like double back, and so the kids after still get those looks, and they're still like, oh, that school, like, oh, remember that school? Remember Royce came out of school? Remember Evan? Remember Chris?
No doubt.
Or Hunter? No doubt. Wally, like, you know what I'm saying? They still come back. They do. Those keys,
and if you kind of like use Imperial as a funny as an example, UCLA with Robert Thomas, then it was Christian Ramirez, and they were still talking, Imperial High School where Robert came from, right?
100%.
And that was 98, and then it was 2006 for Christian. So I mean, you see that window. I mean, that's a long period of time, but it's like, oh, that's where Robert Thomas came out, and then it was Christian, and then it was, so then people were still talking about, hey, Royce is from the same school as Christian Ramirez. Like, so it's funny how, I mean, that they're not close in age really, but it does hang on, and people remember,
Mm-hmm. It is crazy.
So, so you were in, your senior of high school, you had some opportunities. What did where did you go? What was it? As far as what do the opportunities lead you?
Yeah. So at the time, I know I ended up in some academic situation. It was super complicated. And I was just like, okay. And then the opportunities was like some NAIs. I believe it was a couple D2s, and the offers weren't as high. And the NAI offers were high. And we ended up signing. They ended up signing everything, going through it. And I went on a visit, got some friends to tag along, helped them get scholarships, all that. And then when I don't know what it was, just something about it. I just wasn't at ease with that decision. Like I felt like I was gonna get stuck there, and I knew I had more in me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And there was nothing wrong with that school. There's nothing wrong with that whole situation, but I just felt like I needed to compete at a high level. And I still wanted to get to that D1 offer that I've always dreamed of.
Sure.
And I at least wanted to just get offered it, or get to the level of like, okay, let me play at a higher level that I know I could play at. So then that's when I, called them, and I actually didn't even tell any of my teammates at the time that even went with me, because I didn't want them my decision to, mess with them and what they had going on, and what they were thinking like, okay, this is a great school, I'm going to go here. So I just called the coach and told him like, hey, my friends are still coming, but I won't be attending that school.
Bro, I want to say you made that decision in July.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the beach and you were texting me, and you're like, I don't think I want to go there. And I'm like, bro, like, hey, this is your decision. Like, like you got to do what's right for you and what's the best thing. And I still remember that. Like, I remember you texting me like, I don't think this is for me. I don't think I need to, like, and I was just like, hey, it's all good. Like, you're not hurting my feelings. I'm not gonna hey, you got to do what's right for you. And and so that was probably like mid-July at some point. So I mean, you were probably a month away from heading out there. And
maybe even sooner. Right? It was actually, they wanted us there early, so it was a week before. I was supposed to leave within the week. And then I remember my friends texting me, oh, we can't wait to get going. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, I'm not going. Like, I'm not going to be there. And then I remember the trip, like they all kind of went at the same time. And like, oh, we're almost there. Evan, where you at? Evan, where you at? Evan, where you at?
Oh, you still hadn't told them?
I still hadn't told them. I felt so bad just in general. And I just couldn't get off to tell them like, I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
And then I finally told them. They're just like, what? And then like the next couple of days went by, and they were fine about it. Like, because they ended up having their scholarships, and they ended up doing really well there and getting degrees there. I think only one of them came back, and it was like an injury or something like that. But other than that, everybody stayed and did their thing.
Yeah.
So it ended up working out for everybody.
No doubt. Yeah. So you obviously didn't end up going there. That was July.
Yeah, going there. Yeah.
What was the
next option?
What did you end up doing?
Ended up going to JUCO. It's kind of bouncing around between Southwest, Grossmont, and Mesa. And I don't know what it was. I know I went to Southwest and took a visit, and I was like, and then just kind of put them in the back burner. And then it was Mesa and Grossmont. Yeah. And then I was like, I really just can't decide what it is right now. Kind of went back and forth. And I was like, okay, what color would I look in the best? I feel like green, like green, baby. Like green look good on me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have for a reason. So ended up going to Grossmont and doing my thing there. Yeah.
Yeah. What were you there at the time?
Was that the year I was there?
I don't think you're there yet, maybe.
I would have been there your freshman year of college.
Then you were there.
Yeah,
you were there. Yeah, you were there. Yeah.
So actually, I had well, and that Luis Navarro also went there at the same time. Mm-hmm. And
it's crazy.
Was that it? Was that
Christian Webster?
Three, right?
Is Christian Webster is there? He was I think he played safety or linebacker from Imperial.
When I was there?
Yeah,
I know
Christian. It must have been after.
Because he went to after at first, right?
Oh, you're right. It was after you left. It was right after you left. He came. Yeah, that's right.
So
because in a whole other group after you left, was a whole other group came. That was all from the Valley. Really? That's all right. Yeah.
So your freshman year at Grossmont, did you play that year or no?
That year I did. Yeah. That
Okay.
first year I did. Yeah.
Yeah, that was that's I actually went to a couple of those games that year. That's right,
Mhm.
man. That was
And I was still kind
I,
of figuring things out. Yeah.
yeah. So you went Grossmont,
Yeah.
kind of obviously the JUCO to D1 dream, right? The
Yeah, for
thoughts of
sure.
that. You're there at Grossmont, and then you had some health scares, right?
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So even if I actually rewind a little bit, when I finished my senior year of high school, I got asked to play for Team USA.
That's
And I
right.
ended up playing for Team USA. And that was situation was cool too, because even going back a little bit more, I went to a camp just to, get exposure or whatever, just to see who else is out there as a just competition. Because this is when I'm like, okay, I know I'm good in the Valley, but I don't really know if I'm good in San Diego. I don't know if I'm good in LA. I don't know if I'm good
Yeah.
up there. There's a whole different ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go up there and see if I'm good. And then ended up doing really well. And they asked me to go to the second part of the camp, which was in Dallas. I had summer school, horrible student as well. So I had summer school, couldn't go. And that whole opportunity went boom, poof.
Yeah.
And fast forward a little bit to my senior year, they sent like email out, and there's like, hey, if anybody wants to try to rejoin, just send your film in. And what happened is I ended up recording that camp.
Mm.
So I had all my clips from that camp, me like running training. We did one-on-ones, stuff like that. Sent that to him, and I sent my senior tape. And then maybe like 2 weeks went by, and then they ended up calling me like, hey, we're gonna use this as like a backup. If something happens to somebody, someone can't come. The next day, they called me like, hey, we need you here. Like, you're just gonna be an extra. I'm like, okay, cool. So then fast forward, we ended up going to DC. We were training there for like 2 months or a month or two, something like that, out there in DC. And then from DC, we flew to Kuwait to play out there, and we did 4 or 5 games in like a week.
Yeah.
Crazy. And we're out there. It's a whole crazy experience in the Middle East. Went to different military base. We went to embassy, stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it was super cool. Got to like experience different things out there.
Yeah, very unique experience right there. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it was
obviously
crazy.
to be playing football in that environment alone, but
Yeah,
just,
it's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, it was during Ramadan too, so it's just a whole like
Oh
different week. So
yeah,
like they
wow.
weren't eating and drinking, and like
Yeah.
we were allowed to, but it was only in the hotel. And then we could do it on the field, but we're kind of respectful of that.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, like they can't have water, so just
Were you playing
understand that they
against
can.
kids from there?
So they have their own team. Kuwait had a team, Canada brought a team. I think China brought a team over, Mexico brought
Wow.
a team, Germany brought a team, and I think that was it. And then
That's
we just all just
interesting, man.
competed. Yeah, it was crazy experience.
How
then-
just curious, how was the level of
Yeah.
football from the other ones?
Everybody was not the greatest. They weren't the greatest.
Yeah,
I say
yeah,
they're trash,
yeah.
but they weren't the greatest. People who competed the best was obviously Canada.
Yeah.
That I think that was our championship game, and we fought to the very end. We actually were losing at half, came out of half, and then just came out and just won. I think we won by like 2 touchdowns or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, so we ended up coming and just killing it for the championship.
So that
And
was
then,
your
so, yeah.
senior. That was
That was my
after your
senior like
year?
summer. Yeah, senior summer.
Got you.
And then at that time, so I say that story to say this. At the time on the flight coming back, we stayed up all night, partying, doing all that, because we just won a championship. We're live, we're lit. And hop on a flight, 14 hours, I'm knocked out. The whole flight, I didn't move. And we did a full week of games. We're playing games, practicing too, weight training, and just the whole culture shifting. We're moving around. We went to like 3 different hotels. Like,
yeah,
whenever like we're settled at any point.
Drained. So, yeah.
Drained. We're visiting places. So then went to sleep, knocked out. Then I woke up. We're in the States, and kind of felt like a cramp in my leg. I'm like, oh, whatever. Just kept playing it off, and then kept feeling it. And my legs started getting swollen, started getting bigger and bigger. And this is when I'm at Grossmont now at this point. It's kind of like messing with me, but I'm like, whatever, it's a cramp. I'm playing through it. And keep playing. And it just gets bigger and bigger. The trainers think it's maybe like a muscle, it's like something with a muscle, massaging, doing types of things to it. In the hot tub, cold tub. And then it starts getting excruciating pain. Like, I was in so much pain. Like, just getting up, I'm sweating. Walking to the bathroom, sweating just because I'm in so much pain. And this blood clot's just stuck. And so still playing, still practicing at the same time. And at that time, the coach was just like, hey, we're not going to play this game. and it's season starting, and I'm like, why? He's like, look at your leg, it's huge. Like, and I'm talking about, it was huge, like it was maybe this big.
Yeah.
And I was a big guy, so my leg was already big, but it's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you feel me? So
Yeah, my leg's
I was a big guy. He's like, looks
Like,
like that's right.
you're like, no, that's my quad, bro.
It's my quad, bro. It's just what it is. So coach wasn't playing, so my mom was in the stands, and she was just like, anytime like anything like that happens, if I'm not playing or if I'm having a bad game, like I might not show it kind of right then and there, but afterwards I'm really like affected by it.
Yeah.
So after the game, I didn't play the whole game, and she knew like I wasn't tripping at all, and she knew like something was wrong, so we went straight to the emergency room and got it checked out. And then the finding was blood clots, and then right from there, that's when it stopped.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you was that, I mean, did you have to have surgery or that kind of stuff for that?
Yeah, so I had to wait a little bit because I don't know why they had me waiting, but I went home and I was just at home, and maybe like 3 weeks went by before surgery, and I couldn't do anything. I was just in my room, just like sitting there, just waiting. Couldn't work out, couldn't move, because he was just saying how dangerous it was. Just because he thought it was crazy I was even playing football, because it was at a simple, like I could have bumped it wrong, and then next thing you know, like the blood shoots up and it's a wrap, like it's over.
Yeah.
On the field, passed out. Luckily there's ambulance there, but still, you never know. So so right then there I went and had surgery. I think it was like 3 procedures on me had, and I was hospitalized for like 2 weeks, and I finished that. I couldn't even walk. That was tough. That was definitely tough. My mom was there, everybody was there, and everybody came and visit me out there and just wishing me support and stuff like that. So that's kind of where I ended my football career right there, and to start focus on my health. Lost a bunch of weight, shedded pounds, stuff like that. So
yeah. So for you, I mean, at that point in time, like you said, I mean, you kind of thought football's over. I need to see, like, so you started and you lost quite a bit of weight, right?
Yeah, I was at 330 when I went down to like 235.
Yeah. And then how did you find out that you could actually keep playing ball?
So at the same time, I'm still going like for check-ins every week. I was like every other day I'd go in for a check-in. So you draw my blood, check it, make sure the level's right. Every day I go back. So it's even hard to work. So I was just going to school at the time.
Yeah.
And so finally, I think my levels had to be at a certain like point. And it was that, and there's something else like with my leg, the swelling of my leg. And he basically just came to me. He's like, hey, you're clear. You don't have to come here anymore and get checked up anymore. And I was like, so what does that mean, like, necessarily? And he's like, well, you don't have to come get checked up. You can start, no more activities. You're running, you're walking. I'm like, can I play football again? And he was like, I mean, let's just wait out and we'll see. Like, all right. So some time went by again. And he's like, you know what, you can play again. And then that's when I was like, okay, let's go.
Yeah.
I ran it back again, started training. At that time I actually played defense because I'm 235. I'm like, play outside or whatever it may be, linebacker or even the end or whatever, inside, I don't know. So I was playing defense at the time. So the coach is looking at me, he's like, nah, just go back to offensive line, go back. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I was looking goofy out there or what.
You were trying to block the running back, bro.
I guess I was like, whoa, where are you going? Why are you coming my whoa? Yeah. I've been used to it.
Yeah, no doubt.
People don't know. I play offensive line. People don't know, but
right
guard and right tackle.
Right, ever. That's all you ever did.
Center was a main, and then my senior year of high school, right guard, and then when I went to college, just went to right tackle and played other things. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So you go through that obviously, and you get to play. What did you play at? What was your weight your last JUCO year?
Yeah, my last JUCO year. So I'm trying to gain weight at the same time because I know coaches. It's my year. This is the year where you could leave.
This is the year for you coaches, to put it on film and try to get out.
Exactly. And so coaches are coming in. So I'm like, okay. I think I was talking to you. You're like, yo, we gotta boost your height up. We gotta just eating, and I'll do the best I can. Do the best I can. Just keep eating. I'm like, all right. So I'm putting on weight. I think I played at for sure I was playing at 245. I think I finished the season off at 268 when I was done. Yeah, at the end of that season. Yeah.
Bro, I remember looking at that film and going, I mean, dude, you look quick, but you
Yeah.
look light as hell. Like I was like, I
Oh,
don't know what I'm gonna tell because
yeah.
I'm gonna say you're bigger than you are, but I mean,
Yeah.
like
How
I
much
could
can we
tell
lie?
on
Yeah.
film, like I could tell, like bro, like
Yeah.
you look 240 on your film,
Yeah.
bro.
I was just moving around.
But yeah,
I
you
was
were
quick
super
though.
quick, bro.
I was
So you
quick
went
though.
down to
Yeah.
that from you said 335 or 330?
Yeah, I was like 330. Yeah, 335. Yeah. Then all the way
Wow.
to 235.
You had to feel really quick out there then.
I was quick. Yeah. I just felt
So
good in general. Felt lighter. Felt healthier.
yeah,
So,
yeah. Oh
yeah.
no, I mean, yeah. People,
Yeah.
if people see, and what we have to put this on, people see a picture of you and your senior year of high school, and then at this point
Crazy.
in time, man, you're a totally different person,
Yeah.
right?
Crazy.
I mean,
Mhm.
totally different person.
Six pack and all.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Shredded, bro. Yeah. So, hey, but you missed a year, right? A whole year,
Yeah. Missed the whole
right?
year.
So,
Yeah.
so
Between
there's a little bit of that's part
Yeah.
of a
Yeah.
little bit of an issue
That
that you
whole
ran
thing.
into.
Yeah. Missed the whole year. Yeah. Football. So
Yeah. So,
I didn't have that same
played
season
a
like everybody else.
freshman. Played your freshman year, missed the next year because of the blood
Mhm.
clots, and then going through
Yeah.
all the health stuff, and then played the following year. So it was your third year there. You
Yeah.
redshirted the
Yeah. Basically,
second
red
year,
shirt.
right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Redshirted.
And I didn't even go to school. I was going to school, but I wasn't necessarily going full time. So I was even behind credits.
Yeah.
So
So
that
we go
last year we
back.
piled it on.
Well, and
Piled it on.
we if you remember,
Mhm.
I remember I ran into you at the fair,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
I was like, bro, like I didn't even know it was you at first, bro,
Yeah.
because I was like, bro, like, and you were by the Texas Donuts, but I don't
Yeah.
know if you're Texas Donut or not, bro.
Oh, you're out of me, man. It wasn't for me. It wasn't even for me.
It was.
I
I
got,
don't.
it was, you know, it
No,
was
no, I'm
on,
not
you
eating
know,
this
talking
right here. No, yeah, not for Fred.
licking the fingers.
But I was like, yeah. So we start talking. I'm like, hey, like,
Yeah.
let me, man, let me see what I could do. You know. So we
Yeah.
start talking right there, and I don't know. Started getting people interested because it was later,
Mhm.
and linemen are good, talented linemen are hard to find,
Yeah.
especially quick ones that can get to the
Mhm.
second level. And dude, Evan, the film was solid. I remember, dude,
Mhm.
U of A really liked you.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah. I remember that.
And U of A was down. Like it was like
Mhm.
get the transcripts, go through it, dude. The
Yeah.
problem, I think I'm honestly U of A was probably a done deal. They go through the transcripts and they realize, yeah, Evan did well in college, so I'm gonna take it back for the fact that he was not a good student in high school. You figured it out at Grossmont, right? You got your
Yeah.
academics in order, and you
Mhm.
became serious about at least passing the class and getting solid grades. So your grades weren't a problem. You
Mhm.
didn't have enough, so you graduated
Mhm.
from Grossmont, but you didn't have, because it was your third year, you had to have more of a completion towards for a degree. So you
100%.
missed
Yeah.
because you were out the year before and you didn't take classes.
Mhm.
That screwed you over the NCAA to go
Yeah.
D1.
To go D1.
That would have been an Arizona Wildcat. I mean, I mean, it
Yeah.
was
It's
a
crazy.
done deal.
Yeah.
It was the OC. I mean, dude, Rod
Yeah.
Smith. That's who. And
It's crazy times. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that was something I really didn't know necessarily too much about, was that
Yeah. It was.
because
Yeah.
of
It's definitely different. Yeah. It's
the
definitely a different
extra year
situation.
that, yeah. And so unfortunately that there was no hardships. There's
Yeah.
nothing that you could
Nothing.
apply to say like to get it.
And schools are trying. They're trying to figure it out so bad. I remember they still wanted me to go out there and visit. They still want me to go out there and do those trips. And they're like, just come out here anyways. Just take a trip out here. Like, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We still couldn't lock it in.
Yeah.
And I remember Lamar came in on the spot. They offered me on the
Oh.
spot when he first saw me.
I remember
I was
that.
in I was in the library doing homework. Coach calls me, hey, come to the office. I'm like, okay. Go to the office. And no, we're in the weight room. He's in the weight room. He's like, go to the weight room.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Go to the weight room. Coach looks at me. And he's like, you're not as big. You're not as big as you are on film. And you say you are on film.
You are a very light 295.
He looks me up and down and he was like, how many offers you got right now? I'm like, well, a couple, D2, NEI and stuff like that. He's like, well, I'll offer you a full ride right now if you say yes to me right now. I'm just like, and then he's like, and the coach is looking at me and he's just like, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'll go. Like, I'll go there. Yeah. And then couldn't figure it out though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
And then later down the line, they ended up calling me saying they figured out a situation or they figured out something, but I was already locked in now. Ended up going to another school.
So you didn't. So obviously you didn't. Those didn't work out, and you ended up going to Lindenwood.
Yeah.
So for
Great
those who
school,
don't
yeah.
know Lindenwood and don't follow every college ever like myself, let people know where Lindenwood is and
Yeah,
a little bit about how that happened for you.
yeah. So Lindenwood came about, it was a phone call. No. What happened was Coach Eastman was a recruitment and he recruited me. He came down, we ended up talking, and we just ended up having like a heart to heart. And he's a super religious guy, and I was super religious too. So we're just going back and forth, just talking about everything but football.
Yeah.
We're talking about our faith, we're talking about our families, we're talking about all these things. I'm like, man, I haven't had a conversation like that in a long time. Just, I was having these, surface, level
Yeah, sure.
conversations like grades and how do you feel about this and stuff like that. We weren't going deep. And then that's when I was like, okay, this is a little bit different. And then I ended up speaking to the head coach and then Coach Stugart. And then from then I was like, man, yeah, this is where I want to be at. And talking to offensive line coach. And that whole staff had that same kind of vibe and energy from then. And that whole staff, even before that, they came from Sioux Falls, a championship winning program. And I don't know if the situation happened there, but I guess they wanted to fresh start and see if they could rebuild something here.
Yeah.
And so they ended up going to Lindenwood and kind of rebuilding. And I was in that rebuilding phase through the whole process. So ended up picking me up there.
And where's Lindenwood at?
Missouri. It's in the middle of Missouri. People like say St. Louis. It's not even St. Louis, St. Charles, Missouri, right outside St. Louis. And it's super suburban, private school, super high tuition, but it's a nice school, very nice, super
former NAIA football program turned D2 program.
Turned D2. Soon, hopefully, I hope I'm not spoiling no news. Soon, hopefully, be D1. So that'll be cool.
I mean, from what I remember seeing of it, I mean, great, like really nice facilities.
Crazy facilities.
I want to say what Pierre Desir came out of there, right? Yeah, so that's a big name that came out of there. I think drafted like 4th round or something like that, and played quite a bit in the NFL. But then that was when they were NAIA, I want to say, not even D2, if I could be wrong, but so at Lindenwood for you, how'd that career go for you there? So you had 2 years to play?
I had 2 years and ended up finding an extra year.
That's right.
So that second year it came out. It came out late though. I didn't know. I thought I was gone. I thought I was out of there. I was like 2. I'm like, all right, it's my senior year. It came back on me like, you have an extra one. But it was different. It was a culture shock, of course, and coming from the valley. You go out there, the weather, snow. Just to talk about the snow in general, like you don't see snow. Like, what is this? So it's snowing, the weather's different, it's cold, super humid, everything's kind of a little more spaced out. So just that in general was different. The people, the way they interact with each other is different. It's not like here, it's not like home. Majority, white, here's majority Hispanic. So there's just a different dynamic. And but in general, the school is super cool school. Facilities, like I said, was amazing. The coaching staff was amazing. So I am glad I ended up making that decision to go there, because then everything ended up working out.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, everything happens for a reason, and things get lined up the way they're supposed to.
For sure.
And that's like all those other things along the way, and all the little opportunities that were maybe there and didn't happen and stuff. Definitely. But like I think like you've mentioned, man, you're a man of your faith and things like. And when I think if you believe that way, then a lot of times it's just like what's supposed to happen will happen, right? I mean, you can't question 100%. the avenue that you're put. So you're out there and
out there,
like you mentioned, you kind of you did your senior project that so let's say you're graduating. What was your intentions? What was your plan? Okay, beyond the fact you did a senior project, what were you thinking you were going to do? What was your hope to do after you graduated from college?
So I had a family friend, and I was actually going to get into construction management, and that was kind of the path. I was like, okay, I could do that, get into management, and ended up not working out due to like something happened over there, and that's the whole situation with them, and just miscommunication, things of that nature just didn't work out. And then COVID kind of hit, and all those things kind of really started breaking communication between there. Then so I knew I was going to come home and regroup. So during that time, like I was saying, the senior project came back around. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do for my project, this, that, the other, and bouncing around ideas, bouncing other people. And I'm like, I had this kind of idea of starting these like shirts or sweaters and hoodies for where I'm from. Had the idea, and I was like, I'll just do it for my senior project.
Yeah.
and present it and see kind of what it kind of takes me. And, you know, I presented it with passion. I presented it with, you know, just the same kind of feeling I have every time I think of home, you know, like I miss it and I have that same energy of like, man, I want to like make people happy, remind people where they come from. Every time you put on that hoodie or you put on that shirt, it's like, oh, okay. So I know Rafa Garcia is rocking one, the beanie. I'm putting mine on. I could be the next Rafa, or you know, Royce is wearing his shirt. You know, put my shirt on. That kind of like confidence when you put it on, like we're like one group or one team, one, you know, unit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So just doing that, I kind of presented it in that type of way. I presented kind of with the structure of like I was saying, drop shipping before. I don't know if you're familiar. It's like basically you have your store, your storefront, and then you have supplier. And basically, when they place an order, your supplier sees the order, they produce and they ship it for you, and you kind of pay your supplier in between that.
Yeah.
They take the margins and
you never touch it.
XYZ. You never touch the product. But I knew that's what I wanted to do, and that's how I presented the project as. Yeah. But when I got here, I was like, that's not going to work out, especially with the Valley. Like people need to feel it, touch it, and see it. And I had to build a brand. So I was like, you know, I got to go and make these go make these shirts. So I went and got them designed. I had a bunch of different ideas and designs I wanted, and took it to Graphics and Brawley, and they just kind of, you know, went from there. And they printed the first shirts, second ones, third ones, and kind of went from there. Kind of redesigned, added more shirts to, you know, Arsenal, stuff like that. Yeah. Then I was like, okay, now I got this kind of brand. People know what's going on, even though there's still some people who don't know, but it's enough to, hey, if I drop a shirt, I know some people are going to purchase them. It's enough to float the business. So that's what I did. And basically I just switched all over online. And now we have this kind of influx of, you know, people could purchase it. And it's just easier because now, before people would DM me and I'd miss DMs, and it was, you know, it's a whole situation. I'm, you know, this is like a side gig, you know, and I'm working full time. And it's just like, you know, going back and forth, and you're going from, and I'm even dropping the shirts off. So I'm driving to Central, driving to Holtville, driving to Calexico. I didn't care. I was probably losing all types of money. I wasn't keeping no track of margin. I just wanted people to have the shirts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're trying, like you said, you're trying to build a brand. Yeah,
I'm trying to build a brand. I was eating the cost or whatever. I was spending my own money. I didn't care.
Yeah,
just trying to get it out there, shipping them to people. Not doing the right math at all, you know. So, you know, they're
learning curve, baby.
Learning curve.
Yeah,
live and learn, man.
Math
comes back, kids.
That's right. This is the math needed right here.
This is the math needed right here.
Yeah.
So kids, you know, pay attention. But yeah, basically it's just that. So once I built the brand, I was like, okay, this is, you know, now I could get it online and keep moving that way.
Yeah.
And what was your main method for kind of spreading the word? Was it, were you using a lot of social media? And
yeah, so first it was, you know, person to person. You know, the Valley's small, so people kind of word of mouth type situation. Then I also knew that if I got it in the right hands, you know, people would wear it and people would see it. And I'd even tell people to post it. I'll just be like, hey, would you want a hoodie? What's your address? And I'll send it to you. People would post it out of just love. And, you know, for me, love for the idea of what it's, you know, doing. And then, you know, send it to like Rafa, send it to Royce, obviously my best friend. I'll just send it to everybody. I know I'm missing a bunch of people, but Eddie, I'll send it to Eddie as well.
Yeah.
And shout out to all those people who, like, you know, did their thing, put it on and posted it and still rock it even when they, you know, and they don't have to, and they actually love the product. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it kind of started from then. And then, you know, incorporate ads and Instagram ads, Facebook ads, and things of that nature, and pushing it that way and getting, you know, being more general, localizing your ads and stuff like that. So make sure people see it, because people are on Facebook a lot, especially people here, always on their phones.
No doubt about it. And you, for the brand, you're doing the graphic design now.
Yeah. So now, I do all my graphics, all my designs. There's a couple designs. I think we did the collage I did with this girl that I went to school with actually here. It's like Create. She's really good, super good graphic designer. Shout out to her. Shout out, it's Gabby. Killing it. So worked that one for, you know, came with the idea and we went back and forth, and she just did her thing, killed that one. And then there's another graphic design we ended up not putting on a shirt. But other than that, all the designs I, you know, come up with and kind of tool with and mess around with until I find kind of something that works. And I try to keep it simple, kind of, you know, keep it clean. Sometimes when you overcomplicate things, people are like,
So for the stuff you've done, is your intention to be like limited run stuff?
Yeah, so I try to do limited run as much as possible. Some stuff on there I'll have it on there, like the staple pieces, like, you know, this hoodie is on there. You know, I try to keep those always are in stock. Our beanies, hats, and there's some other things in there I keep very limited, just because I like not everybody having them, just
Yeah.
stuff like that. I keep it very limited. So I keep it cool like that. So I do love that. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. And like we kind of what we've gone through with even the podcast stuff is like, you know, we kind of highlight like with the Imperial Valley, and it's like funny because like we were talking earlier, is that you know you've got so many people from the valley that have kind of thrown it up there for you, right? Put it on there, kind of do, you know, kind of. I mean, not, it wasn't free marketing because obviously you're trying to you're trying to hook them up too with stuff. So there's the financial side of it. But yeah, I mean,
100%.
they're just I think here so many people are so willing to kind of, you know, help each other out to kind of build things up, man. And that's what's
100%.
been really dope because for you and our thing is like, you know, no one's hesitated on wanting to support something like that. And
100%.
so it's
just sparks,
especially
sparks other ideas. It sparks
Yeah.
ideas for other people. It might not even be the clothing. It might be, you know, if it's someone else wants to, you know, they see your podcast and you created a podcast, or they see your clothing on, create another clothing line. Like, yeah, there's other people who are doing other clothing that are out there also in the valley that are killing it too. And shout out to them. And people just seeing the innovation, just seeing people like, you know, wanting to elevate. Because that's one thing, you know, sometimes we can get stuck in our ways in the valley sometimes, you know, we're used to what we're used to. And sometimes there's a different way of living, different way of handling
lose
things.
some of that creative and, you know, that creativity you have, or like, you know, some of your own, you know, your motivation and inspiration to do things, because you kind of, like you said, get stuck in your ways and just go about it. It's like, but when you take that chance to jump out and go out of your comfort zone and do something, and then you put it out there. And once you put it out there, it's like, what are you going to do with it? Because now people are paying attention to it. So you're going to make something of it. It's going to be something that people are going to want to continue to support. Or is it going to just go away, you know, and
just go away.
Yeah.
And that's that part where it's like people sometimes enjoy, it's like the quarantine part. Like people are in quarantine, everybody's starting a little business, like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then after quarantine, everyone's kind of like, no one really had these small businesses no more, like as much, you know. People weren't trying to be as creative, you know, they had to, you know, do other things, they had, you know, other jobs, other obligations, or things of that nature. They just got tired of it. So things of that nature, so I agree with that,
So what do you what's your goal right now with this? Where do you
So with this, I just like seeing it grow. Like, every day it's growing, so it's super cool. I like seeing different people rock it. I like seeing just my friends and people just complimenting like, oh, I love just the support, but also love the quality of the material. You know, that was a whole other thing. Me, you know, testing every single piece, you know, sending it all in, like this is all out of pocket at this point. Like, I was making no money.
Sure.
So it was just like, I'm putting my money up to like, I want all those versions of those blanks, on all those blanks, on all those blanks. I'm gonna sit there and look at them and be like, okay, now I want to print all of them, print all of them. Which one looks the best on the print? You know, like, it costs money to do, like, to run one sample, you know. So things of that nature, just hearing those type of things. And then along with that, I also want to see just grow and let people like it grow as the valley kind of grows, I guess. Like seeing innovation in the valley, seeing other people want to take those steps and be like, oh, like I saw he did that, I think I can do something like that. Or like, oh, I saw him like copy. I don't care. Like, you know, do what you want to do. Like, do whatever you want to do. If, like, you want to start a website, you know, do that. Like, just as long as it's motivating you to do something, I think that's the coolest thing, and that's what I want to continue to do.
For sure. I think I think it's like when you start doing things like that, people, like you said, they may not be a clothing company, may not be a podcast, just kind of sparks that creative side of someone. Be like, oh, like, you know, maybe it is someone who's a designer and sees like what you're doing, like, oh man, I want to get back into this. I'm going to go back into this. Like, I mean, just with this podcast, I mean, the podcast idea started because Cedric and I were talking about talking about for 2 years about doing the podcast. And, you know, just our schedules and where we both live in different areas, it's a little bit harder to tie in. But I told this guy, I'm like, hey, let's do this. Let's do this about our valley, whatever. Right. And like, I think for him, he probably hadn't been thinking about that, but I was like, all right, let's go. And he was like,
do something.
Like, you know, but I think, you know,
it's gotten good reception so far. I can already see right here. We've two of our past guests, Randy with the shoe deal, and then Tyler with the skateboarding. We've already talked about having, you know, some charity events and stuff, giving out some. Cool. I'm sure you'd love to be a part of that too in the future.
100%.
we can all work together, kind of.
And that right there is dope, because like we're talking about like just like all these, like I wouldn't have known, like obviously Randy ended up starting his thing and like kind of broadcast, not that he was doing it, but like started with that one, and like go with Tyler, go with this, like where all these things then we can all tie these things back in together to just support our valley, which is
at the end of the day,
which is very dope to be able to say, like, dude, we can all collaborate on doing something even cooler to give back to this area, right? That I feel like has given us a lot, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, it is, man.
I think Cedric said it's like it's not easy to be from here. It's not easy. Even like leaving here and doing other things, it's not easy living here as well. Like there's tricky situations,
No doubt.
Definitely. And just having that motivation of seeing other people wanting to have charity events, or having organizations come in and do these type of things, or make people proud of where they're from, not being ashamed of where they're from, things of that nature is super cool too. So,
yeah. It is, man. It's like, and I know that, I think for all of us is like, I mean, I'm very proud of being from here. Like I hold this area very, very highly in everything that I do. And I love to, that's like, it goes back to why I help kids, man. I wanted to put this area on that map. Like I want everyone to coaches to know, like, you're not wasting a day to come out here to recruit, come out here to see these kids. There's a kid, you'll find someone every year. There's going to be someone who's worth your time to come see, every year. But it's for everything, man. I know there's not a lot to necessarily do here as a kid, but there's so much that this place provides you if you really take 100%. The time to think back on the lessons you learn and how that molds you in your future.
100%. I agree. Even it being such a small town, it actually kept us kind of safe, like in a way.
Yeah.
Even though it's not like necessarily the easiest to like live here sometimes, but it's like, or even back then it wasn't, but I'm saying even like fast forwarding now, it's like, now I'm looking back, I'm just like, dang, like, I'm so glad like there wasn't like always a bunch of huge party scene. There wasn't like all these temptations that we have like when you're in a big city. Like as soon as I moved from the valley and then I went to San Diego, I'm just like, oh, this is a whole different beast. Like going from, now you're with the, Hunter, like you're with the Grossman guys and people that are from there. There's like, it's a different, they're different.
They're different.
No, but it definitely, like we have
definitely different.
We have a bit of a bubble here in a way, I mean, obviously we got, there is very tempting things for kids who, whatever, you're going to go to Mexicali or do things like that. And you can, you could still do the wrong things here, no doubt about it. But I mean, generally, I think if you grow up and you're put in a position, you're around the right people, around the right group of friends. 100%. And like I say, both of you guys definitely had a very solid core network of friends that all, generally had their head on the shoulders, knew what they wanted to do, were focused.
And that's what I was telling him before we started the podcast. Like we were rivals in high school. I mean, Imperial and Brawley. That was the main rivalry our senior year, and we were cool with these dudes though. These dudes would come to Brawley, we go to Imperial.
Yeah. No, there's I think a lot of that stuff like that too. Social media helped like bridge the gaps between like cities here. Like I mean, it made the, for a small valley, it made this valley even smaller, right? Everyone knew each other because of social media. You knew who these people were. So there was no social media when I was in high school, like there was nothing, I mean, other than like MSN Messenger and stuff like that, right? Like it wasn't, there was no social media. So you really didn't like, you knew who people were, but like there definitely was more of like a, Brawley didn't like Central, and like there was more of that because, you really didn't know those people. But I do think that the social media thing has definitely tied people in together. It said, I feel like it just made the valley smaller. Like everyone knew everyone from Imperial. Imperial knows everyone from, Hopeville and Central and, it's Southwest. So, I mean, it just connected people more so, and to where it is now. Like, I mean, I feel like if we mention someone, everybody like, oh yeah, I know who that is. Like, whatever. Right.
You mention your first name or last name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Even if you don't really know him necessarily, but
yeah,
I know.
You know that guy's like, you know,
hey, you saw him on Instagram, right? You're like whatever, right? Like, yeah.
You know, he got a podcast.
He was
right?
always talking wild on Twitter back in the day. Like, oh yeah. I know.
Oh yeah.
So it definitely does it definitely shrinks the valley some, man.
Yeah.
So as far as so you got you're working, you have your own 9 to 5 your day job and stuff like that. What is the vision for the valley? Like, what is the vision for it?
Yeah, honestly, just keep pushing it forward as much as I can. Doing more charity work if I can. Also, right now we have the playlist. I help artists, they'll send me their music and I'll put it on the playlist, and then the artist could, I'll stream it, I'll post it, and I think we're at like 30 so people on there now. So
okay,
it helps them get their streams, helps them get notice of that nature. So if anybody wants to send me their music, I'll put it on the playlist, thevalley.ca on Spotify. So
DJ Evan on Q96.
DJ you need a buzzer, man. But yeah.
I love that, man.
It's been cool. So isn't doing that, and also I want to start like a separate tab for any artists want to come in and do any type of design. Doesn't have to work with me, but if they want to do a shirt and they don't have the infrastructure, the processing that kind of I have, or whatever I know, I could help them or share them with. I'll have if they have a design they want to do, I'll let them keep 100% of the money. They can put on the website, and I'll show them how to do it and whatnot. And it's
that's
all
dope.
there. So if anybody has any designs, they can do that. And that's also something I want to start pushing out more. And then the music as well. So it's just cool. It's things I like, I like designing, I like, art, I like music. So kind of all just sits in one kind of place.
The things you're passionate about. So just you're trying to build on those also while you're working
on those while I'm working it.
Yeah.
Just all kind of keeps up. So it's not like any extra. It's not like extra work, because I do love doing it. So
no, it's
and you're putting people on, and everybody's winning at it at the end of the day.
Well, that's 100%, man. It's just like I mean, the time I spend if I'm helping kids or whatever, like it's not work because it's passion, right? It's what you love to do, and the fact that you could put someone else in a position to help them, like, and no matter 100%. What it is, that's what that drives me.
I've helped so many people just like with anything. Like I've learned so much just along the way. And I went to school for business, and then even before that, starting other small businesses, and then working on the internet space has really kind of been where I've made my focus at. So I've helped so many people just build out the Shopify store. So many phone calls with people, and it's not like I care to get any type of notoriety or be like or shout me out or anything. Like I care less if please don't shout me out, please. Like, I don't want anybody knowing like that's you, like you did that was your idea. I just kind of helped you and guide you along the way, and I'm just sharing my wisdom, And if I, spend less money, and I've had those headaches, I went through those, and I've lost money on ads and things like that. So if I could show somebody how to run a Facebook ad, I'll show them how to run a Facebook ad. I'll show them how to have a Shopify, build our shop. I'll show them how to build out the store. Whatever thing I know, I'm willing to share it. So
yeah, man.
I'm not trying to hold on to nothing here.
No, that's what's dope, man. It's like if you have the opportunity to help someone because you have experience in something, and you got to do those things knowing that there's never expecting anything in return for those things. 100%. Like if you can do that, man, I think just as a person, like, and I think similar to you, man, it's just like that definitely fulfills you. Like knowing that you help that you help someone else, and they don't have to give you
comes
anything.
Back.
Yeah,
the energy comes back one way or another. It always come back. Even if it's like, oh, you did good business, like someone will talk, they'll talk, be like, oh, Evan has a brand, it's like, oh, what is this? The Valley or whatever it may be,
Yeah.
So then
exactly
a sell from that or something like that, you know what I'm saying? So it all kind of ties itself together.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm excited to see, I know see the addition, the next drop that you do, the other stuff, man. It's the designs. I mean, I think everything that you're doing is, I mean, it's just the fact that you're doing it. I love that, but even and it is dope. It is fresh. There's it's unique. It's not something that you really see. It definitely something. To me, it's something that you could see in a storefront. You definitely see somewhere out. So I love the fact that you're creating that, though.
Yeah, I think that's the funny part, because a lot of people didn't even know that I was running the brand.
Yeah, that's what I hit you. I'm like, bro, is this yours? Yeah. Like that was my question. I didn't even know that.
Because the thing is, I wanted people to genuinely like find it one, and then genuinely like it, not because I want people to support it, not because it was necessarily supporting me. Because I knew people would support it because they're supporting me. Yeah, I know my friends are supporting. Oh, I'm supporting Evan. Or I'm supporting. No. I just want you to support it and like it naturally. And then you find out later on, like, oh, he joined. Oh, dang, that's tight. Evan, you're the one does that. I already love the product, and I already love what you're doing.
Yeah.
I love the message trying to spread out. So it's been crazy, man. So many people from out of state. People were like from New York that are from the Valley, like hear about it, and they're like, oh, I want to get, they get 2 shirts, 3 shirts sent to New York. I've had some crazy orders in like Michigan or Nebraska, or like just things that people are originally from here or have roots here and then have to move for work or whatever it may be. They still get that and have that feeling like, oh, this is home. This is what it feels like. This is that material.
Exactly.
Stuff like that. So
it's
been super dope, man. It's been super cool.
And so have you done any work or connected with any people to kind of reach people out of the Valley?
As of like just communicating
like
with
not
them,
even people from the Valley, like market this thing further, or do you have any goals for that?
I've kind of started. That was another kind of step I wanted to go into, is like maybe not just yet, but eventually maybe just rebranding it and being like it being a brand and not just it being so geographically located, and people understanding who are from here understand what the meaning is and where it's really truly from, but people on the outside understand also. So it's definitely been crazy. Yeah. I know who has the Valley right now, the Phoenix Suns. They did like the whole Valley thing. So that was a whole other situation we ran into. Man. I remember people started tagging me in it as soon as they saw it. Like when they had they did like a full rollout, whatever, and they're like, "Oh, that looks just like your thing." And some people are like, "Oh, congratulations, your logo's on the thing." I'm like,
"Damn, man!" It's like, nope,
that's not mine.
Yeah.
I remember people were like, "Man," I had like a mentor of mine. He was like, "Man, we can get get lore together and go back and try to sue them for the design." I'm like, "Man, it's okay." Like I didn't even know if they really like necessarily like the way they went about it. And at that same time, people were like, "Oh, would they even know about it?" And at that same time, I was running ads in that area because I knew that area was called the Valley as well. So I'm running like Facebook ads, Instagram ads also out there. So I don't know if it picked it up. I don't know what happened with that situation, but
yeah, that's a tough one, man. Because like you're not
definitely
like
took it,
you're like you said, like you could hire a lawyer, you could do something, but then it's like, are you gonna put in the money to go do that?
Yeah.
And I mean, now if you were in a different situation with the company and a larger scale where you had more power and finances behind it, I can fully understand. I mean, that's a tough one.
So I'm just like, they got it. Y'all got that one. Shout out to them, man.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely cool though.
Yeah, no doubt,
definitely.
Man.
That was a whole situation though, and we're going back and forth, and
yeah, man. I'm excited to see you see where it goes, man. I think obviously just seeing who you and I think your focus and what you already have going with it. I can only imagine, man, if that's what you're going to keep putting your energy behind and pushing into, man, I can only
100%.
see continue to grow. And I know, like, as others hear about it that are from here that have platforms as well, that they'll get behind the fact too, because like I think that is the reality, man. If you leave here, where are you from? Like, I don't know, like I guess you can say from Brawley, Imperial, whatever, but from the Valley. I don't know, people say from the Valley, and then people go, "Oh yeah, like San Fernando." Like, no, bro, like
exactly. Those are the San
Imperial
Fernando
Valley, like
Imperial Beach. Like,
that's another one. I was like, "Oh,
closer,"
Beach,
but like
no, that ain't it either.
We're getting
bro.
there, but nah.
Yeah, that's not it. But...
So it's definitely cool though. Yeah, just having like I was saying, the merchandise, like, or just having the clothing like in other areas. Because even like when I was like in San Diego, when I was like just going to different places, I'm like, I just want something that feels like home. I remember I was like asking my mom for like a Johnny shirt, just because I wanted something, or Driscoll shirt, just because I wanted something to feel like home. Like So when making this, I was like, okay, this is what I know. I have friends that are purchasing stuff in college. They're buying stuff all the time. When it's winter, they're buying hoodies. When it's summer, they're buying the tank tops. So it's super cool because they just love that home feel.
Show them where you're from. No doubt about it. No, man. I said, I think it's only on its way up, man. I know that. I know there's so much more to the story. And I think it's just obviously just the start of it. So that's what's dope. And like you said, you don't have to. It's like you want it to be be able to where it's beyond here, you know, and that's like the same thing for even our with this. It's like small town success obviously doesn't just have to be Imperial Valley success. It's just there's so many areas like ours, you know,
100%.
And just like your
100%.
brand's not Imperial Valley, it's
any
valley anywhere.
It's just
but
the valley. Any valley.
yeah,
start small, but
resonates.
We can all expand out,
picture.
man.
It does resonate. It's just one of those things. It's like I said, I think the valley is just knowing that, like, you know, I don't know, it's coming from something small, coming from, you know, it's not huge, but then it's like, man, you see how many people like that's what's the dopest thing. And seeing all the people that have worn your stuff, it's like, man, it's like we know there's so much success here. There's so many people that are making it.
So many people here.
Making it here, don't even have to leave here to make it, right? Like to find your success, but some have to, and it's just the way it is, man. But
and I found so many people like just with the brand also just digging in deeper and just trying to find other people just doing anything. I remember just anybody who follows me, you know, looking at their profile, seeing what they do, what they're about, and just by doing that, you see so many people doing so many crazy things. You find artists who are doing things. You find, you know, musician artists or like actual graphic design artists. You find photographers are killing it. You find just so many different people you just want to like collab with or try to help or whatever you can, or, you know, stuff like that. So that's been super cool. So like I was saying, I've been like with some of the artists on Spotify and pushing that out and you know, using like different ads and stuff like that and helping their music. So it's been super cool.
That's awesome. So for anyone looking for the Valley, what are we, what's the tags here, man?
All right, so we're gonna go thevalleyca.com. So it's the Valley, TheValleyca.com. I think I spelled that right.
There you go. Got you.
I got you as a discount too, 10% off. Small town success. Let's go.
Hey, that's my man.
Let's
right there.
Let's go.
Hit it up, man. Hit it up. And on Instagram
on Instagram it's at thevalley.ca.
At thevalley.ca. Those are the two main ways right there. We on Instagram and the website.
Yeah,
man. I said, man, I think it's just a start. I think we definitely we're gonna be talking. Let's do something. We can give it, like I said, man. We give it with Randy, give it with Tyler. Let's do something. We want to do something this summer, like something interesting, man. We're just get this conversation going. But I think we can do something pretty dope down here, and kind of bring the Valley together and get something fresh going here. Maybe even get Eddie involved. But we can get all kinds of
so much, man.
All kinds of stuff. So man, just the start, man. Just the start. I'm fired up, brother.
Let's go.
That's right, man. Well, minus the hour of us not being able to figure out the whole audio situation, man.
We made it work, man. We made it work.
Which was a great chance to catch up because I haven't seen you in a while, man. So it was good just to chop it up and have fun with it. You know, we're gonna definitely have to circle back around and kind of we like Hunter mentioned, man. I mean, there's a time where we actually want to try to do something like here at this setting, and we may be able to do something, you know, where when we get a few of the other guys who've been on and kind of get everyone together and do something like roundtable discussion,
roundtable. Okay,
you know what I'm saying, man? So something unique, and you know, like I said, for us, man, we want to keep growing this thing too. So it's just keep telling stories, right? Keep showing stories out there that maybe people don't know about. And or maybe they know about it but they don't know the details behind it, man. Because I think there's so many people that go through the things we go through and don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Some kid in high school doesn't have academics, doesn't see the light, and listens to your story and goes, man, like, you know, this guy did it too, made it through, made it out, did this, you know. And same thing, go back to like Cedric's story and similar to that, right?
100%.
So I love the fact that we can highlight those things.
Make it out of any situation. Just keep going, man. Just keep going.
What do you have inside of you to push through, man? And that's
100%.
a lot of it right there. So, well, brother, I know I think we knocked it out with that one right there.
Man, we did. It's a good one. I do appreciate that. Thank you guys for having me, man. It's been an honor. Thanks for,
man.
picking me out, man. That's love.
No, I knew it'd be good, man. I knew it'd be good to go with you because obviously we all know each other at the very least.
Yeah.
You know, kind of. But I love seeing the new ideas you've got on the show. So you kind of do. I saw you posted some with like you had some with cattle call in the background of it, some ideas behind that. But you can't put Travis Dove on the picture, bro.
Travis Dove's on there, man.
You cannot put Travis Dove on there, bro.
Travis Dove's on the first one. I saw him. Yeah, I saw him. He was on one of the cattle call pictures. I'm like, oh, this is fire. He's on there riding a horse or wrestling or something. Like, okay. So he's on one of the first one I did, and then after that, he's kind of in the back burner. But shout out to him.
Yeah, Travis, my boy, man. I'm
gonna go out there and get some food out there. I know they barbecue out there and grill, so I'm gonna go out there for sure one day, get some steak. I know they do that out there, man.
Bro, there's a dope picture. This guy has got a brand name Cowboy Fresh, and he posted a picture on his page. It's like a Western, street Western wear kind of thing. But he posted a picture, and it was from Brawley Cattle Call from like 1950, and it was a dude like a bull rider from 1950. It's a really dope picture. I'll send it to you because like that's a cool ass idea. It's a very cool idea.
Send it to me.
Yeah. So when I saw that one,
I go down those rabbit holes, man. I'll go deep. I found so much shit about the valley just going deep.
But if you really, I mean, the like cowboy farming, like that lifestyle, that created this valley. I mean, 100%. So you go back to some of those things, and there's unique things, and that's part of that, like that history, and like I even like to see. Even in going to like, you ever go to Inferno, like they have the old pictures of Brawley in there, and like
what it used to be.
Oh my god, like just like really cool, like just like all the little Model T cars parked like in front of all the buildings. It's such a
and they still have some of the same buildings out there.
But like that, I can see that, like I can see that on a shirt right there, bro. Like because you did like you did the cars on there from the gente, like like that was dope. But it's just the things that people think when you think about the valley. What are the things that come to their mind, And I'm like, so 100%. Man, I love what you're doing. I know there's so many more ideas you're going to come up with, so I'm excited to see that.
Definitely got a lot in the works, man. Stay tuned.
All right, brother. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you go, but we definitely are going to. We'll have a follow up for sure.
Cool, for sure. We're gonna have to.
All right, brother.
I know you're getting up at what, in about 2 hours?
Bro, I know, bro. I'm just like right now, like I know when it gets this fun, I'm just kind of like.
It's like 9:30.
It's like an all nighter when you're just like typing. Like,
you're just like, just gotta get through this.
Nah, man. Now, when we're rocking and rolling, man, it's easy. It's easy to do these things.
Hey, man, I've known you since high school. You've always had a positive mindset. Man. Always been cool, man. So, as a pleasure speaking to you tonight.
Appreciate that,
man. Excited to see what you got going on.
Yeah,
definitely, man. I love it, man. Everything you guys are doing over there too, man. If you guys need anything, let me know.
I appreciate it.
Especially if anybody out there needs anything, let me know. If it's digital.
No, clothing here.
No, clothing. I get some gear. No, yeah. Hey, now that you're doing the other things and stuff like that too, man. I love like the other things you're doing with it, and so that's some things.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that out there where like people, they have their services available like that, and I love that because like people here would love to see. Hey, I like what you're doing on that. Like, what can you? I need this created.
Yeah.
There's a solid market down here for that kind of stuff too. So that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well,
sorry, y'all.
Appreciate it, bro. I'm glad we got this thing figured out because
for sure we went through and we didn't give up though. We didn't give up.
Oh my god, man! I tell you what, man.
We didn't give up, man. We were going through, and all it was a mute button.
All it was this pesky little mute button.
If any people are listening, any viewers are listening, it was Justin.
Bro, they couldn't 100%.
Justin and Hunter couldn't figure out the mute button.
That was on Evan's computer. Could not figure that thing out, bro. Oh my god, bro.
That bunch for microphone down there.
That little guy right there in the corner. Right there.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah. Unmute your mics, people. Unmute your mics. All right, Evan. I appreciate it, brother.
All right, bro.
We'll talk to you, brother.